The Chevy Silverado is undoubtedly one of the top 3 most popular full-size pickup trucks ever. Recently, with the constant downsizing of engines of their competitors, it has become even more intriguing to those that value displacement and a meaty V8, as it remains one of the last true pickup trucks on offer. Unfortunately, even though it looks like a terrifyingly good option at first glance, the Silverado isn't without its issues, and despite all, you might be better off with its competition. So let's check out what keeps dragging this big guy down as we look at 6 reasons why you should avoid the Chevrolet Silverado. Number 6. A very conflicting ride. Let us just say it from the get-go. The Silverado isn't a bad truck to drive. It is perfectly adequate, albeit it does feel very conflicting occasionally. You see, first of all, the Silverado has a bit stiffer suspension than its rivals, especially the Ram 1500. Now obviously this is to be expected since it has leaf springs in the back, whereas the Ram 1500 has coil springs. And it isn't called the Rolls-Royce of pickup trucks for no reason. That one is fair enough. However, putting it side by side with the F-150, which also has rear leaf springs, makes you understand why we're a tad frustrated with GM's decision. You see, the F-150 has a noticeably softer ride, and it irons out bumps and imperfections with much more elegance than the Silverado. GM's pickup truck is just a little bit too bouncy to be truly ideally comfortable. Now sure, the F-150 also has quite a bit of body roll compared to the Silverado, whose stiffer suspension allows for quite a bit of added rigidity in the bends. However, even its good handling is let down by the fact that the Silverado steering wheel feels extremely numb. All in all, GM should have just stuck with one basic character for the truck and not tried to make it a jack of all trades. Number 5. Aging powertrains are its Achilles heel. Sure, we all love a good V8. However, as much as it pains to say it, its time is past. Because the Silverado isn't letting go of its V8, its performance has been lagging behind its competition drastically, as both Ford's 3.5 EcoBoost V6 and Ram's new Hurricane 6 offer quite a bit of torque and power more than the Silverado. Heck, the V8's maximum power output is 420 horsepower, which is the lower output of the Hurricane 6 engine found in the Ram 1500. In addition, the Silverado is also at a key disadvantage because it doesn't offer a good entry-level powertrain. Sure, the 2.7 i4 is a powerful unit, offering 310 horsepower, but due to its inline-4 layout, it is extremely unrefined to drive, and its real-world performance pales compared to its immediate rivals. Finally, the 3.0 Duramax diesel is, albeit a good mule of an engine, definitely the worst pick you can make, as diesels are already almost completely phased out worldwide. Honestly, it's sad to see what the automotive world is turning into. And as much as it is a fault in the real world, we're glad to see that the Silverado stays true to itself. Number 4. The off-road ZR2 can't hold a candle to its competitors. What we're not glad to see is the fact that Chevy gave virtually no thought to the Silverado ZR2. Honestly, what were they thinking? This vehicle was designed to rival the F-150 Raptor and the Ram 1500 TRX, and it couldn't even compete with the regular lineup models. Sure, it is a great off-roader, especially when outfitted with the Bison package. However, you don't buy one of these vehicles for off-roading exclusivity. You buy them because they are obnoxious and overpowered beasts that can kickstart the world if it ever stopped spinning. And the ZR2, with its standard 420 horsepower engine, could never compete with the 700 plus horsepower that both Ram and Ford offered with their performance models. Even now, with the TRX being gone and buried, the ZR2 still can't hold a candle to the Ram 1500 RHO, which has 120 horsepower more and is just as good of an off-roader, if not even better than the Silverado. Mentioning the F-150 Raptor would be stupid, as that beast remains unchanged for 2025, and it completely devours whatever the Silverado ZR2 has to throw at it. Number 3. The interior is very lackluster. The Silverado is the oldest of the big American trio, and it shows, especially on the inside. Both the F-150 and the Ram 1500 have cabins that were deliberately designed for comfort and long-distance driving, as nobody who's buying this type of vehicle will be buying it for town errands. As a result, both of these have soft-touch materials all over the cabin, and higher-end models tend to even offer leather-wrapped dashboards, and exceptionally plush seats. The Ram 1500 is especially good in this regard, as since its refresh earlier this year, it has undeniably shown us what it means to be called the Rolls-Royce of pickup trucks. The Silverado, though, keeps lagging behind these two in regard to quality and design. First of all, the Silverado's interior houses quite a bit cheaper plastic, which makes the car feel far less special on the inside. In addition, the button placement is also not the greatest, especially compared to the F-150, which has a good button layout compared to both the Silverado and the Ram 1500. Finally, the infotainment screen is by far the hardest to use out of all three of these, as it is fairly unintuitive and confusing. Even with a facelift a couple of years back, the Silverado still felt like an old design through and through compared to its rivals. Overall, Chevy should have given much more thought when thinking up the Silverado's interior. Number 2. The fuel economy is terrible. This is one of the drawbacks of having a big V8 engine. It's eternally thirsty. Fitted with a high-output 6.2 V8, the Silverado will manage to do only 16 miles per gallon combined, which is laughable compared to the 3.0 Hurricane 6 found in the Ram 1500, as it can do 20 miles per gallon combined. Things get even worse when put side by side compared to the 3.5 V6 EcoBoost from the F-150, which manages to average 21 miles per gallon, all while offering more power and torque than the Silverado. Things aren't much better with the 5.3 V8, which can only do 18 miles per gallon combined, all while delivering a very gutless 365 horsepower. The only powertrain that does have a semblance of fuel economy with it is a 2.7-liter. However, even it has a problem, as its 19 miles per gallon combined is still much less than the 24 miles per gallon of the 2.7 EcoBoost and 3.6 Pentastar found in the F-150 and Ram 1500 respectively. The diesel is, however, pretty economical, averaging around 28 miles per gallon. However, what do you expect? It's a diesel, of course. It'll do more miles per gallon than a big old V8. Number 1. The competition simply offers more for less. As can be deduced from our previous points, the Silverado simply doesn't offer enough to stand out from its competition, especially not for the price. The Silverado starts at only $1,000 less than the F-150, and for that money, you get a weaker, less capable, and less economical truck, with a much worse powertrain and an interior that is made out of the worst possible plastics. Stepping up a bit will allow the Silverado to hold its own a bit better. However, even then, it is vastly outmatched by the F-150, as even with the interior and exterior upgrades you get, the Silverado still cannot match what an equivalently priced F-150 can offer, especially in terms of usability. It also cannot hold a candle to the Ram 1500, which is both better handling, better off-road, and also better in terms of comfort than it too. Sure, the Silverado can tow up to 13,300 pounds, which is 500 pounds more than the Ram 1500. However, realistically, you'll never need that extra 500 pounds. And even if you do, you're better off with the F-150 anyway, as it offers a maximum towing rating of 14,000 pounds. What the Silverado is essentially is a mix between the F-150 and the Ram 1500 from a practical point, at the cost of that added bit of build quality that both trucks wager over GM's pickup truck. Honestly, we believe that the biggest affront to the Colorado is its sister truck, the GMC Sierra, which has a much better interior, shares its platform and most of its driving characteristics, but is just a bit better on the inside and has a driving experience overall. That said, the Silverado is most likely going to be the last V8-powered pickup truck on offer, save for the Coyote-powered F-150, but even it is on its last legs. As a result, even with its numerous faults, we simply can't help but love the Silverado, as it seems it is the final send-off of the traditional pickup truck that we've known and loved for almost a whole century.